Hey guys, here is my 10 cards, 1 kit, love from Lizi, November, with the November card kit. Here are my card bases and the scrap pieces I cut from the cardstock. I have previous videos explaining that, which I will link one above if you're interested. I am way behind on this card kit. Lizi has actually already started doing sneak peeks of her November card kit, so if you are interested in a kit, now is the time to start paying attention and watching the sneak peeks and following her to see when it's released, which will be in a week or so. Here's card 1, and just to warn you, I use add-ons on every single card, so except for 2. So 8 of the cards I use add-ons. So if you do not get any of the chipboard sticker add-ons, you may not find this video helpful unless you just want to watch it for inspiration. However, Lizi does have the add-on chipboards. There's card 1. I've spoken through the whole time. But Lizi does have the chipboard add-ons available. So if you do get the November kit and you want to get the add-ons from the October kit, they are available as of this voiceover. So card 1, I had just used the pattern paper and some chipboard stickers to create the scene. The dies are Tim Holtz, I'm not sure of the name, Vintage Spirits die. So there's Boo, Wicked, Fright. I use those throughout the video. Here I've taken Lizi's stamp set that came in the kit, taken the skull stamp, and I'm heat embossing it in white embossing powder on black cardstock. Then I'm taking this spider web material that came in the kit and just draping it across the card base. I use Scotch tape to adhere it on the back. And then I go ahead and adhere it with some foam tape. This is 3M foam tape I got off Amazon. It's a big roll that is wonderful and has lasted me quite a while. Of course, I'm pretty stingy with it. And then this is some fun foam, glitter fun foam that I die cut the word fright out of, and I adhere the sentiment fright across the card. On camera, you can't really see it. I mean, it kind of seems to get lost, but in person, it's more noticeable. The first card I did, where I was speaking about the products I used some pumpkin pie glitter cardstock. Obviously, it's not in the kit, but it's just orange glitter cardstock. You can find glitter cardstock or paper at your craft store, typically. So I wasn't worried too much about bringing it in. I typically like to stick with the kit contents, but I did bring in a few items. So that completes card 2. After I adhered the sentiment, I secured some of the webbing with some glue dots. So here I have taken a piece of pattern paper, already have cut it down. I die cut this circle out of some of the specialty cardstock that came in the kit. And here is another chipboard sticker. And I go ahead and adhere my owl on it, and I've die cut out of that same specialty cardstock the word Boo. This whole video I had issues with all of my glue adhesive. It was quite frustrating. So a lot of times I just popped glue on my finger and rubbed it on the back of my pieces that I need glued down. I'm adding some tape adhesive to the back, and we'll go ahead and adhere this to my card base. This is the vanilla card base. And I do add some of the Nuvo drops that come in this kit. The Nuvo drops appear to be blue. Oh, I add some Spectrum Noir clear glitter overlay pen to my Sentiment Boo just to give it some sparkle. This was really unnecessary because the specialty cardstock has a shimmer to it, so don't ask me why I did that. So here I'm taking my Nuvo drops that came in the kit. These Nuvo drops appear to be blue, but when they dry, they are a dark charcoal, so it goes perfect with the kit. My fourth card is really quick. I wanted to use this huge chipboard sticker, the Haunted Mansion, and I thought the orange background pattern paper went perfectly. And then I hung this sign that says the Haunted Mansion Real Estate, which I thought was cute. And then I go ahead and adhere this to a orange card base, and then that completes this card really quick and easy. When you have the chipboard stickers, it really kind of takes the guesswork out of designs, I guess. It just makes things a lot easier. So this video is fairly quick because I had so many wonderful chipboard stickers to use and I'm obsessed with them. So for card 5, this is one of my favorite cards. I had to use the sign and I thought it paired well with this pattern paper. So I went ahead and cut down the pattern paper, and then I'm taking more of this webbing material and I just haphazardly wrap it around the sign as if this is an old sign. It's been kind of abandoned and has spider webs all over it. And just continue to wrap it around, and then I will flip it over and I will add some more foam tape to the back. Since there is kind of some bulk there, I wanted to make sure to adhere it so it laid flat. Now you'll see I add some foam tape across the whole piece, and granted, if there's bulk, you don't want to do that. You want to add it to the places where there's less bulk, if that makes sense. But when it is adhered to my card, it actually sticks fine. I'm looking at my card now, and the foam tape, what's holding this little sign down is the foam tape on my little web netting. It has come off on the other pieces, but it is adhered perfectly fine and is staying attached because of that spider web material. So I wanted to add this little spider, and it's kind of tricky to adhere it because it's not necessarily meant for a card. But I used some multimedia matte and added dots to the legs. That did nothing. So I went ahead and took some glue dots and just rolled them up in a ball and placed them in a few spots. There's one spot where I used one on one of the legs. You can see the glue dot. However, I'm not too worried about that. It's just the only way I could get the spider adhered for this particular card. I did kind of add more adhesive to the parts of the spider that were touching the sign. So that's really what's holding the spider down, is that top area of the spider, the head area. As you can see here, I'm fiddling with it just to get it under there, and it works perfectly fine. This is one of my favorite cards. So then I go ahead and add some double-sided tape to the back of my card panel, and then adhere it to I use a black card base, and then that'll complete this card. So for card 6, I love this piece of pattern paper, and I decided to go ahead and cut out some of the articles. And then I have a Tim Holtz Distress tool. My camera died, but I take this tool and go ahead and distress the edges of each of the articles. And then I take this book pattern paper, cut it down to size, and then I use a chipboard sticker, the candle, adhere that because old library, I picture, back in the day when you had to use a candle. And then I bust out this jar of multimedia matte because I was having such issues with my adhesive. And I'm just adhering the glue this way. It's a lot easier. I'm not dealing with clogs or having to almost kill my hand squeezing out of my multimedia matte little bottle. So that is what I'm using here. I die cut the word Wicked out of some specialty cardstock that came in the kit. And again, use this glue. The multimedia matte dries matte, so at this point I did not care if it was on the front. I used my finger to clean it up, and you can't notice a thing on my card. Even with the specialty cardstock having a little sheen to it, you still cannot notice any multimedia matte that kind of seeped out. I decided to go ahead and use a couple more articles to glue. I felt there was too much empty space in the center of my card. So I cut out 2 more and I go ahead and glue them down. The one on the very bottom I did pop up just to give it some dimension. I did have to go back and secure my candle. The candlestick did fall off. These stickers are adhesive, the chipboard stickers, but I messed with them a lot. So when I was trying to figure out card designs, and I had punched them out of the piece they come in, so I myself got rid of some of the stickiness by touching them too much. And that will complete this card. For card 7, this is another one of my favorites. I used this striped green and black pattern paper, which I love. It's so pretty. Adhere this to a brown piece of cardstock. The brown doesn't necessarily go together, but I went with it. And I used this netting that comes in the kit. And I go ahead and trim it off to fit the card. And then these stickers, again, an add-on, but are available as of now. I go ahead and adhere to the netting. There's no good way to adhere this netting without seeing the adhesive, so everything I put on top of it is where the netting is adhered to the card. So I'm messing with the card right now. I can lift the sides of this netting, but it is very secure. I went ahead and added some multimedia matte to the back here, as you see on my little chipboard pieces. And then I take some of the satin black ribbon and tie a bow once I'm done here. And I adhere that below my little boo piece. I love the little witches. I adhere that, secure the bow with a glue dot. And again, it secures it to the netting to the card right here. So I have a few spots where my netting is attached and it's not going to fall off. I like that card. So for card 8, I take a piece of black cardstock, cut out a circle, and then I take my Spectrum Noir clear glitter pen and go ahead and go over the whole circle to give it some sheen. Why I didn't use the specialty cardstock, who knows? You know, so much comes in the kit, and I'm usually pretty good about laying everything out. But honestly, I forgot about several items that came in the kit. Here I am taking this piece of pattern paper. I cut it down to size, and I'm adding some black soot to the edges. You kind of can't see on camera. However, it really makes a difference. It's kind of subtle, but it really looks nice and finished. So look at the top here, how there's a yellow border. And then when you add this black, it really goes with the black line in between the caskets, if that makes sense. I really, I'm looking at the card in person. In person, it just looks so much better. But I really liked that I thought to do this because it just adds something extra to the card. There is a chipboard sticker that matches this cardstock. And that is why I chose the black circle to kind of have some separation between the background paper and my chipboard sticker. Because if I stuck the chipboard sticker straight on top, it would get lost in the background. So I go ahead and adhere this chipboard sticker to this black cardstock. I add some Stampin' Dimensionals to this. This is a button. I did cut off the back, but it was still not perfectly flat. So adding the Stampin' Dimensionals helped. And then I go ahead and adhere it next to my coffin. And add some double-sided tape. And then I actually have to take off my little coffin and add some double-sided tape to that because it wasn't sticking as I had wanted. It wasn't secure. Like I said, I had been messing with the chipboard sticker so much that a lot of them lost their adhesive. Even if they had a backing on it, a lot of the backings were not secure. So just to play it on the safe side, I go ahead and adhere double-sided tape, adhere that to the center again. And then I have these little eyeballs that were chipboard stickers as well. And I'm using the yellow cardstock to adhere this. It goes perfectly with that pattern paper. I have the skull chipboard sticker that I stick in the center. And then I have a few of these eye chipboard stickers that I scatter around the card. And then I do go ahead and place them down, but I do take them up and add some adhesive to make sure they do not fall off. And then that will complete this card. For card 9, I am keeping it simple again. The chipboard stickers really do allow for simplicity in your card design, I feel like. So I'm taking this orange ribbon that came in the kit, wrapping it around the bottom. Oops. And then I'm going to use some glue dots to secure the ribbon so it doesn't pop up. And then I take a couple chipboard stickers that you'll see in a moment, and I go ahead and add them. I love the poison bottle I use, and I really wanted to use the Happy Halloween sentiment. As you'll see, it's to the far right. So go ahead and adhere my poison bottle. I thought these two chipboard stickers went well with the pattern paper. Go ahead and adhere my little Happy Halloween. And then I do take an orange bow that I tied with the same ribbon and adhere that on the bottom. I secure that with a glue dot. And then in a previous Love from Lizi kit, she had included some black rhinestones. So I pulled those out because the rhinestones went perfect with the rhinestones on the chipboard stickers. And I placed the rhinestones in the corners of the card. And I'll do that once I adhere my panel to my card base. And here are those rhinestones I was talking about. They matched perfectly. So I think that gives it a nice little extra touch. And that will complete this card. For my final card, I took this piece of pattern paper, cut it down to size, but then I'm using a circle die and cutting 3 circles out of the pattern paper. I really had not utilized the stamp set except for in one card, so I did want to bring it back in and use a couple of the stamps. I have a yellow card base left, but yellow really didn't go with what I wanted to do, so I did bring in my own white card base. And then I take this light gray cardstock, and I do this really because I don't want to waste any paper. It would have just been simple to have a piece of gray cardstock to stick on the back of this whole piece, but I kind of did it choppy where I could use this scrap up. I wouldn't suggest this, but if you're like me and don't like to have any paper go to waste, then this will make total sense to you. So there's what it looks like. It does not look like one piece. I mean, it looks like one piece, but when you flip it over, you can tell it's not. So I take 3 of the stamps and put them in the circle. So the rib cage, the skull, and the hand. These are really cool images. None of these sentiments are Halloween themed, so that's why I really didn't bring them in. And I wanted to make more of Halloween themed cards. That's why I was so happy I got the dies to go with it as an add-on, because those are obviously Halloween themed. So I used my Mini Misty because I wanted to make sure these images stamped perfectly and were really dark. And I'm using my VersaFine Onyx Black ink. And then I had cut this Boo die cut, out of black cardstock. And I go ahead and use my multimedia mat to adhere it. Adhering these sentiments can be tricky because of that thin, like wispy line at the top. So you just have to be careful and give it a chance to dry before messing with it too much. And there you can see my kind of paper piecing. Go ahead and add this to my white card base. My white card base is A2 size, And if you're familiar with Love from Lizi kits, they're UK size, so everything is a little smaller. So I had already cut this pattern paper to her size, so I had to trim up my cardstock, which is totally fine. And that is card 10. And finally, this 12 by 12 sheet came in the kit, and I had to do something with these. So I decided to cut them all out and make gift tags. So here I took some vanilla ribbon I had in my stash, punched a hole in the tag, and then tied a bow of twine around the ribbon. And I only show this one with you, but I do show you what they all look like. If you do this, I had a large hole punch. If you do this, do it to the side, unless you have a smaller hole punch, because the ones I did on the top, the hole at the top, it's really, any little movement will tear that hole right off. You know, you'll tear right through. So here are all the supplies I have left over, a ton of stuff. I could easily make 10 more cards. As always, Lizi's kits are packed full of wonderful products. Like I said at the beginning of the video, she has already started November sneak peeks, so I will include links below to her Instagram if you are interested in that, and her YouTube channel. She usually does sneak peeks, I think, for 5 days, and then the next day is release day. So stay tuned for that. If you're interested in a kit, you might want to grab it while you can. They do sell out. Lately, it's been within 2 days, if that. So you definitely want to grab one if you are interested. She does have a subscription service. Also, like I said, the chipboard stickers I used are, as of now, still available. So I will link those below if you do decide to get a kit and you want to throw in these chipboard stickers for your October kits or whatever projects you want to make. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what your favorite card was, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye!